Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to fix a dent. We got a dent on the blue Buick. So basically, I'm going to teach you how to fix the dent and what all you need for the dent. So yeah, here we go. Okay, today we're going to be fixing a dent. So basically, what you're going to need throughout the whole thing. You're going to need safety glasses first of all. You're going to wear this throughout everything that you do, to where nothing flings out, hits you in the eye, or gets into your eye, and can obstruct your vision or make you go blind or have impaired vision. So basically, whenever you start, you're going to need this tape. It's going to be a yellow tape that you can find here in our shop, but in other shops it might be different colors. So basically, you use this, you're going to tape off your panel. So basically, let's say you're doing the door, you're going to tape off just the door. And everything else is going to be like out of your way to where you don't mess up the other panels. And then basically you're going to need a grinder. The grinder, what you're going to do with this, you're going to use it to grind away the paint on your dent. So just do about 2 to 1 inches, like I say further on in the video. So basically you're going to use this right here to remove the paint. And then you're going to use sandpaper, which I have here on this block, which you will use later. So you're going to use a high grit sandpaper. After you get done grinding with the grinder, you're going to use the sandpaper, and you're going to try to get the paint that's out of the dent, because sometimes the paint sticks down into the dent, making it to where you cannot get it out. Then after you get the paint out of the dent, you're going to use these right here, which is a pin, and you're going to use a pin welder. The pin welder you're going to have to hook up to electricity source, such as extension cord like I have here, or just an outlet that you have on the wall. So basically you're going to hook that up and you're just going to put it in there, and I'll show you later on in the video how to use that. So that's how you use it. And after you have that in there, if you need more than one, just use more than one. Just however many you think you need, try to keep it to the minimum. And once you get those in there, they're going to be sticking on the metal. You're going to use this, the grinder again, you're going to use that to grind down the pin and make the metal flush with the other metal. Then you're going to use, before you do that, you're going to use the pull hammer, screw it on there and pull out the dent. Then you're going to use the grinder, like I just said, and make it flat. After that, you're going to use over here, we have body filler, and we also have this hardener that goes with the body filler. You're going to mix those together and it's going to make Bondo. And what you do, you pick out the filler with this and you squirt the hardener in there with it on top of the mudboard. And this is a mudboard right here. It may look different in other shops, and you're also going to use a spreader like we have right here. And so once you get those both on there, what you're going to use a sander. After it completely dries, it might take 10 to 15 minutes to dry, depending on how much hardener you put in there. And you're going to use a sanding block. You're going to start off with a high grit, and you're going to sand it down to its lower, and to where you're not scratching the metal as much. And then you're going to move down to a lower grit to where you can get around the edges, not damaging the surrounding paint or metal that you have. And then once you get done with that, you're going to use DA, which is right here. It's a dual action sander. You can use a very low grit, such as 360 grit. And basically you're going to scuff the remaining amount of paint that's on the panel so that you don't have any clear on the panel whenever you go to paint. And basically for the DA and the grinder, you guys are going to use an air hose. And how you use this, you take this end right here, which Johnson says is the female end. You take that and you take the male end. You pull back on the female and you just shove it on there, and you let go of the female end, and it should be attached. So you should be able to use those. So yeah, that is things that we are going to need for this repair. And so now we're going to teach you how to repair the dent in about 3 to 4 hours, depending on how fast you are at doing it. What are you doing?
I tape up a panel.
Interesting.
Is it?
Kind of.
What are you doing?
Okay, so you're taping up my panel. Are you recording? Okay, since now you're done with your tape job, you can, like, as you can see, I taped off the trunk, the headlight, the bumper, the door, the chrome molding, and the rear window, and part of the roof. So basically, let's say you had the door, you would have to tape off the roof, the quarter panel, which I'm doing right now, and you would also have to tape off the driver door. And yeah, that's about it. And okay, so since now that you got the panel all taped up, you guys are going to start with grinding off the paint or anything else that's on the panel. So you should go about 2 inches to 1.5 inches around the panel is where you should grind. Just because there could be warts, like as you see it goes up right here, or it can go down, it can sink, it can move in many ways. So it'd be best if you go 2 to 1 inches around. Okay, so now you're gonna start grinding. With grinding, you're gonna leave the grinder flat. You're not gonna lift it up on edge because it can dig down into the paint or the metal. You don't want that to happen because it'll cause more damage than it's already done. So now we're gonna start grinding. And now that you have finished grinding around your dent, you can see that around it there's like no paint, but inside the middle there's just a little bit more. So with that you're going to use high grit, such as like 80 grit or just something really high. You just dig down in there and just get that paint out. It might take some time, but you will get it out. Okay, and since now, if you have done it correctly and you have sanded throughout the whole middle to make sure that there's no paint left over. If you look towards the dent, which is right here, there's little to no paint left in the dent. So basically now what you're going to do, you're going to move on to pulling the dent, which you're going to need a spot welder. You're going to need pins, and yeah, that's it. Okay, and now that since you've got all that done, and now you got Okay, now that you got it all sanded out and there's no more paint, and in the last video I told you you're going to need a pin, which I have right here. There's one of these, they're bronze, they have a rounded tip, and you're also going to need a spot welder. Spot welder is powered by electricity, so you either need an outlet or an extension cord to reach an outlet. So basically what you are going to do, you're going to insert the pin right into the tip of the gun, and once you get the tip into the gun, basically you're going to find where you need it, which is going to be the deepest point of the dent. So I'm going to put it right there, which is where the most impact happened. So basically you're going to put it there, and you're going to press down, and you're going to press it for like a second, no longer. Otherwise you will burn through it. Now be careful, do not touch that. It's very hot, and then you can move on to, if you need any more, you can attach more. So yeah, that's done. Ta-da! Okay. Now that you got your dent on, you're going to use this right here, which is a dent hammer. Basically what you do, you take a pull hammer, dent hammer. You can, basically you take the tip of this.
You twist the tip.
You put it right in there, and you twist it up to tighten it.
I'm turning that.
And basically, once you get there, you're going to lightly tap it. You don't want to yank it really hard. If you yank it, you can pull it right off and damage the metal. Basically, you're going to do that for all the pull pins you have until your thing is flush or somewhat flush. Okay. Tell me when you're ready. Okay, so now that you've got the pins pulled out, basically you're going to have to bend the pull pins. You're going to bend it, and basically you're going to take the grinder and you're going to grind them. Basically you're going to grind it one side of this, like this right here, is gonna fall off. You just need to grind it down so it's like at least kind of flush with it. So basically that's really all you have to do, and after that we can move on to the Bondo or mud, however you want to call it. Okay, now that you have grinded down the pins and got them removed and flushed with the panel, if you see, you can feel it, they are flush.
They can't do it.
Well, whenever you're doing it, you can feel it. So now basically we're going to teach you how to mix mud or Bondo, however you want to say it, and spread it and how to sand it correctly. Okay, so now basically now we're going to be teaching you how to make Bondo. What you're going to need body filler and some type of hardener that matches with you're going to need something that matches with the body filler. So basically what you're going to do, you're going to have to crack the Bondo or filler, whatever you want to call it. You're going to crack that open. Basically, you're going to have to grab, if you look inside, you have to grab the amount that you think you will need. Do not overdo it. Like, do not grab a ton, do not grab too little. Try to approximate what you think you will need for that damage. So, basically, and this is a mud board. You're going to put your mud and hardener on this so it's easier for you to walk with it and spread it. So I'm gonna need this much. It might be a little bit too much, or it might be a little bit too less, but we will find out. And basically, then you use the hardener. You're gonna have to, if it's like hasn't been used in a while, you have to mix it around like this. Are you even recording? Okay. So you're gonna have to mix it around like this. Just make sure it didn't separate while it's sitting out. Then you're gonna take it out, and you're gonna put just a little bit, like
That's probably too much.
that much right there. Because if you overdo it, it will harden too fast and it'll make it to where it's difficult to spread
Impossible.
and mix. And what you're gonna do, be walking over your panel, and you're gonna be mixing it. So you're gonna be flipping it over on itself. You're just gonna continue to mix it while you're walking over to your panel. Okay, now you can end it. Okay, once you get over to your damaged area, you will know that it's fully mixed when it's all one solid color. Like if you see, it's all like one solid beige. Basically, you're gonna spread it out on your board. You're gonna pick up just a little bit. To spread it, you're gonna have to arch it. Like you have to bend it with your thumb and your fingers behind it. Lay it flush, and then just spread it over the metal and the damaged area. And if you need more, just pick up more. It would be better to try to overkill it than to underkill it, because you don't want to be sanding and you lose your Bondo because you didn't put too much on there, or you put too less on there. Basically, now you're gonna have to wait until this is dry. And once it's dry, you can sand it with a high grit, and we're gonna go down to a low grit. So we'll see you when it's completely dry. Okay, hurry up and do it. Okay, now that you got the Bondo laid down, basically what you're gonna have to do, you have to use a high grit, such as like 80 grit sandpaper with a sanding block, and you're gonna sand the Bondo, and just feather the edges with it, because you get the paint too much, it will scrape up the paint. So basically, just feather it until it's nice and smooth. And once you get it down smooth, or just a little bit higher, go change it out for a lower grit, like 180 or 360. Try to get it to where there's no scratches or marks in it. Okay, so basically, since now you got the Bondo sanded out completely flat, there's no bumps or anything. Basically, you're gonna grab a DA with like 180 or preferably 360 grit, and you're gonna DA the whole panel until there's no shiny left, to where you can prime it and then get ready for paint. End it now.